If you're trying to lose weight, stay consistent, and stop overthinking what to eat every single day, then this video is for you. Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is DeeDee. Today's video, we're gonna be meal prepping both lunch and dinner. So for lunch, we're making some high protein chicken Caesar mason jar salads. And for dinner, we're making some Cajun shrimp, y'all, with a little bit of southern fried cabbage on the side. These are the type of meals that help me lose 95 pounds and helping me keep this weight off. They're realistic, they're filling, and they do not taste like diet food. Now, if you've been saying, I need to get back on track, then guess what? Stay with me and let's meal prep the right way. Let's jump right in. So we got our mason salad jars ready, but we're gonna put them to the side, y'all. We're gonna put them to the side and get started on these chicken tenderloins. These are also very much so budget friendly. Now the way I like to start is with the seasoning. I've already rinsed off my chicken, put a little bit of vinegar and lime, and now I'm on to the seasoning process. I'm starting off with some black pepper. I'm putting in some Italian seasoning as well. I'm adding some garlic powder, some onion powder, some total Goya seasoning. I'm also gonna add in some of that Morton's Nature seasoning that's low sodium. And then I'm just gonna mix everything right in. That's all I'm doing right there. You already know how I mix things up. I like to make sure that I am pulling all of that flavor, any seasoning that is on that bottom of that bowl. Then we're gonna move over to the stove. I have my avocado oil heating on medium heat. We're gonna go ahead and add in those chicken tenderloins. I'm trying my best not to stuff that pan and overcrowd it, but guess what? I'm able to fit everything in there, so we're gonna place everything in there. I'm letting it cook on each side for about 6 minutes, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and flip them over. You can always check the temperature of the meat and make sure it's at 165 degrees Fahrenheit or more, and then you'll know it is fully cooked. After letting them cook for about 6 minutes on each side, my chicken tenderloins are pretty much good to go. I love the browning color on all of these tenderloins, but I took a look and some of them are still not as brown as I would like them to be, even though they're cooked. So I'm allowing them to cook for about 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take them out of that pan. All right, y'all, we're gonna allow the chicken tenderloins to cool off, and we are gonna start with our mason jar salads. Remember, layering is key when you are making these salad bowls, and you wanna make sure that they stay fresh throughout the week. I used about 2 tablespoons of that Olive Garden Ceasar salad dressing, and that's all I placed in every single jar. And now all I'm doing is just making sure that I'm portioning out the chicken tenderloins for each jar. You can definitely weigh them out if you want to make sure that you have exact measurements, but for me, I typically eyeball, y'all. That's what I do, and it works for me. So all I'm doing is cutting up these chicken tenderloins about 2 to 3 pieces per jar, and I'm just pouring them right in. You can absolutely use chicken thighs for this recipe if you would like, or just the chicken breasts, but I find chicken breasts sometimes get a little too tough. Chicken thighs are perfect as well, and the tenderloins for me is like a mix of both, so that's why I use those today. Next, I'm adding my shaved Parmesan. That's what I'm adding right there, just about a little handful, not much at all. I'm adding it to all of the jars. Then I'm adding our seasoned croutons. Y'all, these have about 4 carbs per 2 tablespoons. So all I'm adding is about 3 to 4 croutons for each jar. Not much at all whatsoever, and it is still considered low carb. Then I added some real cooked bacon bits into each jar as well. This is totally optional, y'all, but I like the bacon bits added to my Caesar dressing. And then I added my romaine lettuce at the end. This is our meal for lunch for the next 5 days. All right, y'all, let's get started on our next meal. I have this big old bag of raw shrimp. I rinsed it off with some cold water and I'm letting it drain. Right now, I am working on my Cajun seasoning because we are making some Cajun shrimp. So I first added some Creole seasoning, then I put in a little bit of garlic powder. You know I need my little red cayenne hot pepper because we need it to be spicy, okay, with that Cajun. I'm also adding some paprika, some black pepper, and a little bit of salt. And then I'm just mixing everything together, okay? This is easy for me because if the seasoning is already ready, then all I gotta do is just pour that in. So I placed the seasoning to the side and now it's time for us to work on our cabbage. All I'm doing is slicing it and taking that core out. Now you can definitely slice it into small cabbage pieces if you would like. I'm just slicing it up. I'm not really too much worried about the sizes of the cabbage, just slicing them into small pieces right there. We're gonna place that to the side and move on to our onion. I'm also slicing 1 small onion. I love that flavor that onions add to the cabbage. And then we're also gonna slice up some bell pepper as well. The sizes don't matter too much for me. They're all gonna shrink up when you saute them in that pan. So just slice them up to your liking. All right, now it's time for us to go onto that stove. I just put a little bit of avocado oil into that pan. It's on medium-high heat. And my goal here is to go ahead and saute these onions and these green bell peppers for about 3 to 4 minutes and get them softened up and get the onions caramelized. I added just a little bit of garlic powder and that's it. And now we're gonna allow it to cook for about 3 minutes. I'm adding just a little bit of minced garlic as well. And now, y'all, garlic cooks really fast. So you want to make sure you just mix it up for about 30 seconds or less. And that's about it because you don't want it to burn. And then you want to add your cabbage in. So what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and mix that cabbage up. Bring up that garlic, that avocado oil into the cabbage pieces. And just make sure that it's fully coated. And we're gonna put a cover on top. We're gonna allow this to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. And while it's cooking, we're gonna move on to our shrimp. So I've had this shrimp draining because I ran it under some cold water. And all I'm doing here is just mixing up that Cajun seasoning into that shrimp, okay? You want that shrimp to have some flavor. Now we're going back. The cabbage has reduced a lot, y'all. So we're just mixing everything right in. Now it's time for us to go ahead and season that cabbage because you want every bite you take to have a little bit of flavor. I added some garlic powder, of course, my onion powder, my total seasoning from Goya, and of course, you know, I gotta add a little bit of black pepper as well, and some of that Morton's Nature's seasoning. Y'all, go ahead and season this the way you like to season it, okay? You want your food to be tasty and delicious the way you like it. So these are the seasonings that I use. You are welcome to use them as well, but definitely season it to your liking. All I'm doing here is just mixing up that cabbage, and now we're gonna go ahead and add some of those real bacon pieces that I shared before. I want this to be a southern fried cabbage, okay? And bacon always gives it that southern flair for me. Now these bacon pieces are already cooked, so it doesn't really need much cook time on the stove. And our cabbage is wilted nicely, and our cabbage is done, y'all. It is done. It is smelling so good. We're gonna go ahead and move this off of the stove, allow it to cool down, and move right back over to our shrimp. So I have this pan sizzling on medium-high heat, you know how I do, with some avocado oil because that is my oil of choice. I have a lot of shrimp. There was a lot of shrimp in that bag, y'all, and I definitely don't want to overcrowd the pan. So we are using 2 pans today just to make sure our shrimp is cooked in a reasonable time frame. You definitely don't have to do that. You can absolutely cook your shrimp in batches, but this is just what I'm doing today. So I have 2 pans on the stove cooking this shrimp. We're gonna allow it to cook for about 3 minutes. You don't want to overcook the shrimp because then it'll get rubbery, okay? So about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, then you flip them over and we will combine all of the shrimp. Both pans are fully cooked. All I'm doing here is adding about a tablespoon of butter to that pan just to give it some flavor, and I'm adding all of the shrimp together. We're gonna mix that up, get that buttery sauce all up in that Cajun shrimp. I really wish y'all was in this kitchen with me. It smells so good. One of the shrimp tried to jump out the pan. I put that thing right back in there, okay? Because I'm gonna eat you too. All right, so our shrimp is looking good. My next step is just to go ahead and squeeze some lemon juice right over that shrimp, y'all, just to give it that nice lemon zest flavor, and then just mix everything right in. And that is our Cajun shrimp. Nicely sauteed, smelling good, full of protein, and y'all, it's gonna be delicious. And here is our lineup for the next 5 days, y'all. For lunch meal prep, we have some juicy chicken Caesar salads in mason jars. They're gonna stay fresh for the next 5 days. And then we also have some Cajun sauteed shrimp that is delicious and spicy, y'all, with a side of southern fried cabbage with a little bit of bacon bits in there. Both meals are high protein, low carb. They are gonna fill you up, y'all, and keep you on track with your goals. Fam, we are done with our meal prep. Now let's talk about reheating and storage. Now for your mason jar salads, those things will stay fresh in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. Make sure you shut them really tight, and when you're ready to go, baby, just shake them up and pour them right into the bowl. They will be nice, fresh, and tasty. For reheating, that shrimp and that cabbage can go right there in that microwave for 1.5 to 2 minutes. You can splash a little bit of water just to keep it nice and fresh, but the key here is not to overheat your shrimp. Okay? If you overheat that shrimp, it'll get rubbery, and that's not what you want. So if you want, you can always take that shrimp out, heat it up separately, and you're good to go. But about 1.5 to 2 minutes, baby, you're golden and your dinner will be nice and tasty. Now, what I want y'all to know is when I was losing my 95 pounds, I didn't eat tiny, sad meals, okay? I ate meals like this. They were easy, they were delicious, and they were repeatable. And one thing I want you all to know is while I was losing my 95 pounds, I didn't eat tiny, sad meals. I ate meals just like this. They were delicious, they were filling, and they were repeatable. Y'all, this is what consistency looks like, okay? You are not someone that starts over. Just remember that you are someone that prepares. So if you're in your consistency era right now and you're doing your thing and you're staying on track, go ahead and drop the word consistency in the comments below. And while you at it, go ahead and drop a heart to show some love to your girl. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.